day at Donington started with Gordon Shedden making full use of the weight advantage, taking victory over Andrew Jordan. Race 2 was Plato taking second with a typically battling drive. But Andrew Jordan took the lead, took the win to underline his serious title ambitions. So victories so far today for Gordon Shedden and for Andrew Jordan, building on all the consistency that he showed at Brands Hatch. And after that, our guest, David Brabham, drew the name of Tom Onslow Cole out of the hat to put him onto pole position for our reshuffled grid for round 6, which is just moments away. Andrew Jordan, big boost of confidence for him. Let's go out to Louise, who's on that crowded grid.
It's not as crowded as you might expect at the moment, Steve. We're still waiting for some of the cars to turn up. I'm here on Tom Onslow Cole's grid slot, so we're hopefully he'll be with us fairly shortly, and we can grab a word with him. It's always great. The fantastic thing about this final race is that reverse draw grid always shakes things up, and with David Brabham picking number 10, it's definitely gonna shake up the order for this race. It's going to be interesting to see what the start's like between Tom Onslow Cole. Now, Tom is starting on the hard tyre. Tom Onslow Cole and Aaron Smith just behind him. They are the only two drivers in the top 10 who are going to be starting on the hard tyre. Everybody else is going to be on the soft tyre, so I'm intrigued to see what impact that has on things. Let's see if, while we're waiting for the drivers to turn up, now, here we go. Here's a man I can have a chat to, Alan Gow. Alan, let's tell us while we're waiting for the cars to turn up. Pleased with the way things have been going so far today?
A bit disappointed with the third race. I was hoping for rain. So I might try and delay it by an hour and see if we get... no, it's been a good day's race and some good, clean, hard racing and some good results, so yeah. What
do you expect from this final race? Because I was just pointing out to everybody, what, two guys in the top 10 here on the harder tyre, the rest of the field on the soft tyre. What impact do you think that's going to have?
I fancy Colin Turkington, to be honest. I think he's got good race pace, and the soft tyre, he's probably going to look after it a bit better than a front-wheel drive car. So I don't know, but what do I know?
I won't answer that. Colin's here now, so if you forgive me, I'll move over and grab a word with him. Let's go around to the far side of his car, see if we can dive in. Now, Colin, I've just been chatting to Alan Gow. He's given you the thumbs up for this one. He says he fancies your chances in this race. How do you feel about it?
I don't really know, is the honest answer. You know, I think we fall into the top 10 at the moment, about P8, P9. So, you know, on true pace, I don't deserve to be sitting second. But, you know, I've looked into the reverse grid. So, you know, I've got a good opportunity. Again, we've changed the car for this race, so you know, I'm just going to get my head down. I'm on the soft tyre. Hopefully I'll have some good early performance, and you know, just get my head down and go and see what I can make.
What impact do you think that's going to have? Because you're on the soft tyre, Tom Onslow Cole starting on pole position is on the hard tyre. How do you see that playing out?
It's difficult to know. You know, at Brands Hatch, I struggled a lot more on the softer tyre. We have a slightly better car now, so you know, if I can get into the lead and manage it, I have a chance. But that's easier said than done.
Yeah. Well, if anybody can do it, Colin Turkington can in the rear-wheel drive BMW, which is renowned for being a good fast-starting car. Let's dive in and see what Tom. Whoa, I was almost wearing Tom's car there. Tom, clear road ahead of you, which is always a great place to be starting. How difficult or how easy is it going to be to make the most of this opportunity being on pole?
It's going to be difficult, you know. This is, you know, it's a lot for us. We're not even a month old with the car, and here we are on pole position. But it's a fantastic opportunity for us. We're going to make everything we can of it. I think we've got good race pace. We're on the hard tyre, so we use it to what we can.
What impact is that going to have being on the hard tyre, particularly when you bear in mind that the majority of the rest of the field in the top 10, I think Aaron Smith is the only other person on that hard tyre?
I think it's different team to team, but from our personal experience this weekend, we found the hard tyre to be quicker over the race distance. I believe the Hondas have got the soft tyre working quite well from Brands Hatch, so they might be something to watch out for. But for now, we're concentrating on going forwards.
All right, well, I hope it all goes well for you. Well, as the spots start to come down a little bit harder, we'll see what impact that has on this final race of the day. We're heading off for a quick break, but make sure you come back for it in just a few minutes.
The climax of our day at Donington. Tom Onslow Cole at the head of a reshuffled grid for round 6 of the Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship. We'll join Tim Harvey and David Addison.
Let battle commence, because the third race of the weekend here at Donington is about to get underway. Tom Onslow Cole on pole position, and of course, as we've been hearing, he's on the hard tyre. Tim, normally we talk about who's on the soft, because that is key to what we're going to see in the race. But for this, we turn it on its head, because it could be that being on the hard tyre now is better. What chance of Tom Onslow Cole win? What are your thoughts also? Alan Gow has suggested Colin Turkington for a victory. We wrinkled our noses a bit at that. Maybe that's a bit of a long shot.
Yeah, Colin didn't sound as confident himself, did he? This is really, really difficult to call. Basically, everyone at the front of the grid, bar Aaron Smith and Tom Onslow Cole, are on the soft tyre, which we have seen is slower over the race distance. We haven't seen it on the Hondas yet, the quickest cars out there, or the MG, but they're starting fairly well back. So we'll have to see. This weather could be a big factor, though. At the moment, it's only spitting, but it could be a big factor.
Yes, when we had the thoughts of Chairman Gow, he said he wanted a wet race. Well, it could well come that way. It's getting ever more overcast. The temperature has dropped. It's getting cloudy, but we're set for business. Tom Onslow Cole on pole position on this reverse grid from Colin Turkington, Aaron Smith, Dave Newsham, Sam Tordoff and Adam Morgan to round out the top 6. You can see who's on the soft tyre. Matt Neal is one of those, his teammate Gordon Shedden likewise. Jason Plato and Andrew Jordan round out the top 10. Jordan, of course, now carrying maximum weight. He's ahead of his teammate Jeff Smith and Rob Collard, who has got 2 penalty points on his licence, as has Aaron Smith for contact in the earlier race, comes next. Ahead of Matt Jackson and Jack Goff, Daniel Welch and Nick Foster. A class-winning Lee Wood is ahead on the grid of James Cole. Will Bratt should be there. Rob Austin, sadly, after engine dramas, which are rather long and complicated to explain, he's missing. Ollie Jackson had an isolator switch intermittently fail in the earlier race. That's why he retired. Frank Rattle had the throttle linkage fall apart. He hopefully will be there ahead of Liam Griffin and Joe Girling in the Chevrolet. Warren Scott, well, he had more dramas to go into the gravel heading through the Craner curves. He should be back on the grid, and damage permitting, James Kay and David Knight will be at the back as well. There's the pole man, Tom Onslow Cole, vigorously weaving to put warmth into the tyres. The first race was moderately quiet as people limbered up. Race 2 was a very good race, lots of battling, lots of good, clean racing as well. Race 3, could be anybody's.
Yeah, I think it'll be a typical race 3 reverse grid, soft hard tyre option. We've got it all mixed up in this race, haven't we? And it is the final race of the day. Great to see that Team Hard car on the front. I know it's by virtue of a reverse grid, but it's a brilliant looking car, stunning looking car, and hats off to Team Hard for, as promised, getting all their cars on the grid at the first race and developing them here. They've had a lot of people knocking them, but they have produced the goods and done their business, and Onslow Cole's bringing that car forward.
It was good in the speed trap.
No sign of David Nye, though.
Yeah, disappointing. The damage too great. Welch Motorsport, a small team, not blessed with the biggest of budgets. James Kay will be one to watch in that class as well, working his way through to the front. So, 16 laps in prospect for round 6 of the championship. The last few cars slot into place at the back of the grid. The officials are happy. And as soon as that green flag is shown to say that everybody is where they should be, then they will look towards the lighting gantry. Green flag is waved. Tom Onslow Cole on pole position, focuses on those lights. Can he get away cleanly? Can he lead to Redgate? Engine notes rise, the lights go out now. Turkington makes a better start than does Onslow Cole, who gets bogged down. Aaron Smith leaps out from behind. The BMW of Turkington leads down to Redgate. Aaron Smith is on the outside of Tom Onslow Cole, who tries to fight back up on the inside at Redgate. They go door to door through the corner. Right with him in 4th place is the quick starting Dave Newsham onto the top of the Craner curves. Turkington leads, but they're still side by side for 2nd place. Is it Onslow Cole ahead? Just can he hang on to it all the way through the Craner curves? No, he gets forced out wide. Aaron Smith goes 2nd, Tom Onslow Cole 3rd, and Andrew Jordan over the grass in the background.
Yeah, in fact, Onslow Cole was very slow to react to the lights. His reaction was really slow. It wasn't the fact he got away slowly, it's just that Turkington got the jump on him.
So the BMW leads. Remember, it's another new car this year, run by WSR, the BMW. Colin Turkington, the 2009 champion, back in the BTCC and leading at Donington with Aaron Smith behind him. Soft, heads hard.
Yeah, and I do think Aaron Smith's in a very good position for this race. He's definitely on the right tyre up for the duration of the race. The soft tyre cars will be as quick for the first few laps, but then drop off. Weather may help them, but at the moment, I think Aaron Smith's in a very good position.
I'll go along with that as Colin Turkington leads them out of the chicane at the end of lap 1. Sam Tordoff gone well on the first lap as well, up into 4th place. So Turkington leads, Smith second, Onslow Cole is third, and in the background, Frank Raffle has come to grief at the chicane. The weekend started so promisingly, and look at the left rear corner, Tim.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's as a result of contact or if that's what spun him round, but a rear toe link there is definitely broken, and he's out this race. He's had turbo problems, the throttle sticking open after having that fantastic qualifying. It's another weekend of what could have been for Frank Raffle.
Turkington is building this lead, isn't he? He's got to try and build a gap, and so if the tyre does go off, or when the tyre goes off, he's got something to try to preserve to the checkered flag. But Aaron Smith is doing his best to stay with him. Tom Onslow Cole is there in 3rd. Sam Tordoff is in 4th, and let's find out what happened to Raffle. Ahead of him is Will Bratt and Lee Wood diving into the chicane.
Well, there was a bang there. There was a contact. I think he backed off when the others slowed up. And look there, he got hit from behind. That was by Ollie Jackson. Just a really bunching up when the others had their incident at the front. Tordoff trying to get round the outside. He's going to get a very good run onto the straight here between Onslow Cole.
Looking very racy, though, is Sam Tordoff, and heading for the pit lane is Andrew Jordan.
Andrew Jordan into the pits with a problem. Or is it for tyres, maybe? I don't know.
Well, let's see. He seemed to come in slowly as round the outside of Onslow Cole goes Tordoff. They touch, but Sam Tordoff is absolutely flying, isn't he? We saw how well he went at Brands Hatch, and this is really brave stuff. Round the outside through the crater curves. Tordoff goes through. Does he? Does he? Does he? Yes!
Oh, Adam Morgan just into the back there of Newsham. It's all getting very close, but that was a brave and a good pass by Tordoff.
So Sam Tordoff up into 3rd place. Turkington, though, has got a gap. It was a 1.5 seconds at the start of this lap, and it looks like he's building on it. So Tordoff is up into 3rd place. Onslow Cole 4th. That is Liam Griffin in the pit lane. And Andrew Jordan's car, which we also saw come in, is still there, still in the pit lane. Matt Neal hard at work, 7th at the start of this lap. It's a very crowded house ahead of him as now, look, Dave Newsham tries to put a move on Onslow Cole. That is soon swatted aside, and Rob Collard, I'm afraid, is in grief. He's had a spin that looks like Coppice, and he's about to get himself back onto the road. That grass looking ever more friction-free. Out of the chicane, Onslow Cole really having to stick out his elbows now because he's got Newsham and Morgan and Neil and Shedden and Plato and Matt Jackson all queuing up behind him.
He has, but he's doing a stoic job so far as Newsham looks inside, Tordoff down the inside of Aaron Smith as well. Good move.
So soft tyres then now 1st and 2nd.
At the moment.
At the moment, he did. Newsham, meantime, is about to get past the hard shod car. Onslow Cole, or is he? Newsham is sideways! Are they all going to miss him? Yes, somehow. Plato is the one that's worse off in the sense that he's all over the grass, and Newsham is sat slap in the middle of the road. They go left, they go right. There's an enormous laundry bill incurred inside that Toyota, and Dave Newsham still can't get going for all the traffic.
Well, that was so close to the incident at Brands when Rob Austin got taken out when Newsham spun. So close. They did a brilliant job to miss him. But wow, that was heart in the mouth stuff. I never like to see a car sat stationary in the side of on the road adjacent to the cars coming on, but everyone else managed to avoid it. But it has broken the field up just a little bit.
Well, the leaders are into the chicane, as you say, Tim. There are 1 or 2 gaps now, and as they come out of the chicane, let's have a look at how that all kicked off.
Well, he was side by side with Onslow Cole. They were battling for position, weren't they? And he was just on the dirty side of the track when he turned to the right. And wow, that really was an anxious moment. But brilliant driving by everybody to escape any contact.
I think one who had the biggest scare in avoidance was Gordon Shedden, but he did a fine job of keeping out of the way, as there, with the car twitching down through the crane of curves, is Aaron Smith. So to recap, Colin Turkington leads from Sam Tordoff, both on soft tyres. Third is Aaron Smith on hards. Fourth is Tom Onslow Cole on hards. Adam Morgan is fifth, Matt Neal sixth, Gordon Shedden seventh, all on softs. Matt Jackson eighth on hards. Ninth is Jason Plato, soft, into the top 10. Jeff Smith on soft tyres.
And let's have a look at the pace of the cars. Well, on the last lap, Turkington was the fastest car of anybody, only just his time virtually matched by Tordoff, but in 11.1 was the quickest lap. And look at Adam Morgan. He's now got alongside Onslow Cole, and he's got Neal pushing him as well up the inside. They'll both try and get past Onslow Cole. There's a little bit of contact. Onslow Cole slots back in, pushes Neal out wide. He'll be on the dirt, I think, and that's going to free up. Oh, there goes Shedden through. He's got the run on them through there. Morgan's pass there just opened up the gap perfectly.
And Matt Jackson wants a piece of this as well as they go into Redgate. Shedden is on the outside of Onslow Cole, but he goes a little bit wide. And the Volkswagen comes back up the inside. Look at Matt Jackson looking for a way past Matt Neal. Down through the crane of curves they go, absolutely level. But Gordon Shedden's got the inside line. He's going to go ahead, is he? Tom Onslow Cole has to give way and slot back in behind. Matt Neal is right there behind, but of course Matt came off worse out of all of that. He tried to gain a place, but he's gone backwards.
Yeah, the side-by-side action through the chicane just let them get a run, and that was all that was required. Matt looking up the inside, that's his favourite place to pass, but no room there. Onslow Cole didn't give an inch.
Well, on lap 6 out of 16, we're at Coppice, turning through that double apex right. The lead gap, Turkington to Tordoff, is 3 seconds. Colin Turkington reminding people just how good he is. We've not seen enough of him in the BTCC in recent years. He's been racing in the World Touring Car Championship, but he is delighted to be back, and understandably so. This is a really good effort, though, by Tom Onslow Cole, isn't it? It's a brand spanking new car for this year. And OK, the tyres may be helping him to an extent, but here he is defending well, despite the trim hanging off on the right-hand side. Matt Neal tries to go to the inside, but there is certainly no Civic-sized gap there. To the outside goes Matt Jackson, and Jason Plato is trying to join in as well.
Oh, this looks so ominous, side by side. Once again, we go Matt Jackson and Jason Plato down the crane of curves. Neither of these guys is going to give. Jackson is a hard racer. Plato knows it and just leaves a little bit of room. That's Jeff Smith behind. We've obviously lost Andrew Jordan. He came in the pits earlier. He's come back out. He had some debris under the car. He's come back out and set the fastest lap of the race, but obviously he's nowhere in contention in this group. He's actually in 20th place.
But he has stayed on the lead lap, so were we to get a safety car, that would just help him a little bit. Don't rule out a safety car. It is race 3 of the weekend after all. Out of Coppice, leaders head down towards the chicane. Onslow Cole goes wide. That allows Matt Neal up alongside him. Surely this time the Honda is going to get past. Further up the road, Matt Jackson has got himself now, has he? Sorry, Aaron Smith, I should say. He's still ahead of Morgan, wrong forward. There's Matt Jackson on the tail of Onslow Cole, and he's going to attack coming out of the chicane. Yes, on the inside for the final element, but that's the outside line for Redgate. And out of all of this, Jeff Smith is looking very racy indeed, isn't he? Trying to put a move on Plato. Plato to the inside of Onslow Cole, into the braking area for Redgate. He can't get past the Volkswagen, but he can get up alongside Matt Jackson's Ford. Matt loses out to Onslow Cole. He's going to lose out to Jason as well here.
Yeah, Jason's been very patient through this race so far. He talked to look how wide he's going there to give Jackson room, and he's still not slamming it up the inside. He's still side by side with lots of room. Jeff Smith could be the beneficiary here. No, Plato does get round it. He talked in his interview earlier about how he always raced a bit perhaps too hard, could have won more championships if he'd have been a bit more prudent. Well, he's certainly being prudent now.
Jackson went deep at the old hairpin, didn't he? And he got on the dust. You could see it kick out from underneath the car, and that spoilt his run. And James Kay, I'm afraid, is in dramas for the second race in a row. He's on the grass. He was leading the Super 2000 class for the Jack Sears Trophy. It should now give the class lead to Joe Girling. Right. Adam Morgan, on softs, has got himself up into third at the expense of Aaron Smith. So Turkington, Tordoff, Morgan is the top 3, all on soft tyres. The best of those on hards there. You can see in 4th place is Aaron Smith, but he's about to lose out, I fear. Gordon Shedden is there behind him. So the race leader with a 4.5 second advantage on lap 9 of 16 is Colin Turkington. This is Jeff Smith getting it wrong, coming out of the chicane, keeps his foot in, bounces back onto the road. But just go back to Colin Turkington. He's leading, as I say, by 4.5 seconds. Who did Alan Gow suggest was going to win?
I know. Well, we're not there yet, but I tell you what, you have to go with what Alan Gow thinks. You know that nobody knows more than he does about the outcome of these races. And I have to say, a safety car at this point would be absolutely terrible for Turkington. He's built up a really good lead, and there's no sign of drop-off in his lap times. He's doing 11.0 on the last lap. His best lap was a 10.9. Virtually no drop-off whatsoever. It's a fantastic performance by Turkington at the moment, and at the moment it's 3 soft job cars in the top 3 positions.
Make that 4 from 4, because Shedden, of course, now has got himself up past Aaron Smith as well. So the leading soft car, the leading hard car, Aaron Smith, is down in 5th position, and he's not coming back, is he, as they come out of the chicane? The fight just is not there. Let's see what Matt Neal can do as they come over the timing line. 1 second he's got to make up, but Aaron Smith, who we were expecting good things from, he's in that leading group, yes, but he's dropping now further and further down the order.
Yeah, well, I mean, partly this is because the soft tyre degradation we saw earlier was on cars that perhaps weren't as competitive as we're seeing now, and these cars are better set up and they work the tyres better, but certainly we're not seeing the degradation we saw earlier.
So Turkington's best lap is a 10.9. His last was an 11.2. There's not much to choose between them. Andrew Jordan, as Tim was saying, has done the fastest lap of the race. There's the point for that. And Adam Morgan running in 3rd place. He's going to be under pressure shortly from Gordon Shedden, isn't he, as they head up now towards Coppice. Adam Morgan has got 9 kilos of success ballast on board. Gordon Shedden has got 27 kilos. And Adam Morgan, whose best so far this year has been a 4th, is running 3rd. He really has put in 2 great weekends thus far.
Yeah, it's really been good for him. He's done everything right. The car's been largely reliable, and he's raced really sensibly. And, well, he's obviously got a quick car as well. He qualified it well, and he's driven well in the races. So, hats off on all counts, really.
The leader, Colin Turkington, is now 5.6 seconds clear of Sam Tordoff. Adam Morgan is 3rd, 4th is Shedden, 5th is Smith, and 6th is Matt Neal, who would like a few more points out of this race. Tom Onslow-Cole now down in 7th. Jason Plato 8th, not making the progress that you might have expected.
No, he's just taken a softly approach, but his lap times aren't that quick either. So maybe we're seeing that well, I was going to say the MG not working too well on the soft tyres, but of course Tordoff has been flying. Tordoff is in 2nd place and is showing no problems at all.
Jason has got 36 kilos of weight on board. That might need to be factored in, but even so, he's 8th at the moment. And there is Ollie Jackson, 16th at the start of this lap. He's also on soft, but it's a smoky car. That looks as though there might be.
That's oil. That's oil coming out from the engine bay.
Oh dear.
Team needs to be onto him. It could just be a power steering oil or something, but that's definitely oil coming out.
So that's going to make the road slippy for those behind, isn't it? And for the race leader, Colin Turkington, he'll soon be encountering that for the first time. This is Jason Plato 8th and Matt Jackson 9th as they work their way soft ahead of hard out of the chicane. The MG ahead of the Ford Focus here. And behind them is Jeff Smith, once again running strongly in the top 10. And behind them in 11th, doing a pretty good job, is Dan Welch in the Proton.
Yeah, good for Dan. He's said to me earlier he'd been struggling for grip. He just couldn't find the grip anywhere. And done lots of changes to the car. And yeah, Jackson's pulled off. That's good. Let's hope there isn't.
Now that's coming out of the chicane.
Maybe he's getting going again. Maybe he's spun on his own oil. Look, he's belching oil all over the front tyres and the right rear. Then as he leans on the right rear, the tyre goes round. And you can even see the sheen on the tyre. It's covered in oil. The team needs to get him off the track as soon as possible.
He is in the pit lane. He managed to go from the grass on the outside of the chicane into the pit lane. There's the spin from another angle. And look, Andrew Jordan completely sideways behind us. Presumably he also encounters not just a sliding and spinning car, but also a very slippery road. Wipers on from Colin Turkington. And
But that won't faze Andrew Jordan. He's ex-rallycross champion, so no bother there for him at all.
He's up into 16th as well. He was 20th when we last talked about him. Look at that massive lead that Turkington has got. Are we set for the first victory for the new BMW? Over the line, 5.8 seconds. He is ahead now of Tordoff. Shedden is third. And look at this fight. Jason Plato on the inside, Matt Jackson on the outside, and Jeff Smith wants to mix it with them as well. Which way does he go? There's no gap on the inside. There's not really a gap in the middle, but he's going to have a go. Plato on the inside. He's back ahead of Jackson. What can Smith do? Can't find a way past the Ford.
Jackson's obviously got more grip now than Plato. And well, there's the oil coming out. Look, that looks like a broken oil cooler or something. And you know, Ollie Jackson, no luck this weekend. But yeah, Plato really struggling relative to Tordoff. Obviously, probably run different setups for this race or something, but he's struggling with pace at the moment.
How long can Jason Plato keep Matt Jackson at bay for? Let's see as they head up towards Coppice. And of course, Matt Jackson's trying to attack, but also defend from Jeff Smith. Through Coppice they come. We're on lap number 13 out of 16 in this race. Jason Plato heads towards the chicane. Matt Jackson is right in his wheel tracks. Quick look in the mirror to see where Jeff Smith is. More and more drivers just putting the wipers on now as well as we get towards the end of the race. Turkington is on to lap number 14, and it's a long way before Tordoff comes through. Matt Jackson launching himself over the curbs, accelerates up over the timing line. Tordoff is catching Turkington. The gap's down by 0.4 of a second here.
Yeah, that's still 5.5 seconds though, so I think it's probably a case of Turkington just managing his tyres and the gap.
BMW run by WSR, but you're looking back from the MG at the Motorbase run Aeros Racing Ford Focus of Matt Jackson down through the Craner curves. Matt not really close enough here, I don't think, to challenge Jason Plato at the bottom of the Craner curves, although again he goes all the way over the curbs. Through the L hairpin comes Matt Jackson. Andrew Jordan, meantime, up into the points in 15th position. And ahead of him is Nick Foster, who should be able to gain possibly 2 more, maybe even 3 more places out of this before the end. Jason Plato, however, still busy defending from Matt Jackson. And Jeff Smith having another good weekend also, once more in the top 10.
Yeah, it's really difficult to see. I can't see what the problem particularly is for Plato. Got to remember, Jeff Smith, 2 cars behind. He's on the soft tyre as well. So there are plenty of cars on the soft tyre that are lapping as quickly, if not quicker. Adam Morgan there, still fighting with Matt Neal, just defending to the inside. Plato having to defend as well, but there's Tordoff running a strong second, but Shedden's getting very close.
Yeah, Shedden third, so Adam Morgan drops back down to 4th, might become 5th, depending on what Matt Neal can do. But Gordon Shedden for 2nd place off Sam Tordoff. It's a real possibility here. You're riding with Matt Neal. That's Adam Morgan ahead of us. He's 4th, we're 5th, down through the Craner curves. Now, where does Matt Neal challenge? Can he make a move at the L hairpin? And what's going on up the road as well? Tordoff versus Shedden. It's still the MG ahead, but Gordon Shedden looking really quick, coming out of the L hairpin. Under Starkey's Bridge they go. Both of the Honda Yuasa racing cars fighting for a place. And there, Gordon Shedden goes to the outside at McLean's to try to get past Tordoff. Neal looks for a way past Adam Morgan, who goes wide there. He's another one, look, with the wiper on. Behind, Aaron Smith and Tom Onslow Cole. So the 2 cars on halves are together. Neal up the inside, and that should work for him. It does. Tordoff, though, is keeping Shedden at bay. Matt Neal has gained 1 place, but Morgan is right back on his case, down to the chicane.
Neal's going to have to defend. Morgan's car's quick on the straight. Behind you've got Onslow Cole defending as well from Matt Jackson.
Over the line comes Matt Neal. But up front, Sam Tordoff in 2nd place goes through. Gordon Shedden is right on his tail. And we're on to the last lap of the race as well. There are still lots of battles to be resolved. Colin Turkington leads the way by 4.4 seconds. But who is going to be in 2nd place? Sam Tordoff is there at the moment, and Onslow Cole gets sideways. Aaron Smith's car looking a bit dog-eared is right up behind him. May well have been a nudge there going through Redgate. They, of course, are the leading cars, those 2, Volkswagen and Ford, on the harder tyre. For 2nd place, coming out of the old hairpin, Tordoff versus Shedden, who tries to get up alongside. But Sam Tordoff, yet again, is turning in another stellar drive here, as we saw at Brands Hatch, to keep Gordon Shedden at bay. They're also being caught, aren't they? Because Matt Neal is bringing down that gap as both Tordoff and Shedden go wide all over the curb, and Tordoff bounces back onto the road. Shedden through on the inside, and Matt Neal follows him. Both of them go through. Tordoff gets his hat well and truly nailed on by both Shedden and Matt Neal. He's gone from 2nd to 4th on the last lap of the race.
Poor old Sam, he's driven brilliantly to hold that position, but here's a man that's going to take his first win for West Surrey Racing with this new car. Fantastic performance. Turkington's back.
Colin Turkington wins at Donington. The BMW comes across the line victorious from, in second place, Gordon Shedden, Matt Neal third, Sam Tordoff fourth, Adam Morgan fifth, and Tom Onslow Cole on the hard tyres takes sixth. A great result for the Craftwork Racing team with Volkswagen Passat. Aaron Smith seventh, eighth Jason Plato, ninth Matt Jackson, 10th Jeff Smith, and Andrew Jordan, having had to pit in order to clear debris out of the car, is going to make his way through the chicane. And where is he going to finish? Because Dan Welch is 11th, Rob Collard is 12th, and Andrew Jordan is 13th. A bittersweet day, a win, and then not, it is fair to say, a great result, even if it was a good recovery drive in the final race of the day. So round 6 of the Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship is won by Colin Turkington for eBay Motors, with the new BMW 125i M Sport. WSR, the team that runs it, of course, have taken Colin to the British Touring Car title in the past. It's also been a successful team in single-seater racing going back many, many years. Let's have another look, though, at how second place changed. It started at McLean's. Sam Tordoff wide, over the curve, over the grass. He got himself back onto the track. Up the inside goes Gordon Shedden. And then Matt Neal sees a gap and just launches the car up the inside, over the curb. And from there was nothing really that Sam Tordoff could do. Well, Donington is certainly dusty and dirty offline, but Colin Turkington has come home victorious after a great drive. He was able to escape while all the battles went on behind him. He didn't put a wheel wrong. And the next time Louise speaks to him and says, Alan Gow reckons you're going to win, Colin will know that it's his race for the taking, because there was Alan Gow confidently saying Colin would win. Colin rather less confident, largely because it's a new car for this year. They're still developing it. But on the soft tyres, he has made history by taking that car, the new BMW 125i, to its first victory. And as the fans pour out of Donington, they have seen 3 cracking races, the third of which is won by Colin Turkington. He makes his way down the pit lane, and that is our 5th different winner of the year. It's also the 3rd different car that we've had winning. MG, Honda, and now BMW. And of course, the BMW, as I keep labouring the point, is a brand new car, so it's great to see that taking victory. Round 6 of the Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship falls to Colin Turkington. Ahead of Gordon Shedden and Matt Neal, Sam Tordoff drops to 4th at the very end, ahead of Adam Morgan and then Tom Onslow Cole. Aaron Smith 7th, Jason Plato a bit subdued in 8th, ahead of Matt Jackson. Jeff Smith, feisty as ever, is 10th. Daniel Welch 11th, ahead of Rob Collard. After a pit stop, Andrew Jordan recovers for 13th, ahead of Will Bratt and Nick Foster. Jack Goff 16th, ahead of James Cole. A class-winning Joe Girling is 18th, ahead of Warren Scott. Ollie Jackson, a retirement into the pit lane with the damaged and smoking and leaking Toyota. In the championship then, Jason Plato 5 points up on Andrew Jordan. Matt Neal 3rd, ahead of Sam Tordoff and then Gordon Shedden. Adam Morgan 6th. Colin Turkington 7th, ahead of the Smiths. Jeff ahead of Aaron. And then it is Matt Jackson to round out the top 10. Well, another talking point at Donington then. It's the return to the top step of the podium of Colin Turkington. It's another win for WSR, for eBay Motors, but another new car has scored victory. Everybody expected these cars to be quick pretty close to the start of the season. Dick Bennett's and the WSR team was playing it down a bit and saying, well, you know, we're going to have to do some development, and they may well still have a few more tweaks to do, but this will be a great result, a real confidence booster for everybody at WSR. The 2009 British Touring Car Champion Colin Turkington is back, and back with a vengeance. Dick Bennett's in the background there. He's leaning in with his headset around his neck. Hidden again behind Colin Turkington, but the Kiwi, who has masterminded the development and the build of this car, there he is, will be able to celebrate victory. And go back to the 1980s, he was helping people win Formula 3 championships. In recent years, he's come the touring car route, and victory for Colin Turkington and WSR. The crash helmet will come off in a moment, and then we can hear from our 5th different winner of 2013. Colin Turkington is there, so too is Louise.
Colin, fantastic. Congratulations, back on the top step of the podium. First win for this new BMW. What a special moment.
Yeah, it's really unexpected. You know, I've put the guys through a pretty hard time since I've come back. You know, I didn't start so well at Brands Hatch with the damage in qualifying, but you know, we just kept the head down and chipped away, and you know, the car was obviously very good in that race. You know, I was off like a scalded cat at the start and just kept my head down. You know, didn't look too much in the mirrors. You know, it was a little bit tricky the last 5 or 6 laps when when the rain came down, but you know, I had enough gap that I could control the race. So yeah, really delighted for eBay Motors. It's great to get a win so early in the season.
Were you surprised at how easy it was?
Yeah, it was. You know, it's usually you got to work pretty hard for a British Touring Car win, and you know, I wasn't slacking in there at all. But you know, sometimes the conditions just come to you, and you know, we made just a few changes for that race, and obviously it was on the soft tyre, and everything seemed to gel. And you know, when you get out in front, you can just concentrate, and yeah, really happy for all these guys.
Well, I'm looking at, I don't know whether we can see in the background, but team boss Dickie Bennett, you've brought a tear to his eye. And that's just really testament to how much it means to everybody on this team, because there's been a huge amount of work gone in over the winter to put this new car together, hasn't there?
Yeah, it has. You know, these guys, the eBay Motors team, have worked incredibly hard. You know, and the last car was finished on the Thursday before Brands Hatch, and you know, I had 3 hours in the car before Brands, so did the other guys. So. You know, like I said before, every lap is an exploration, but I think we've got a handle on it now.
Well, credit where credit's due, testament to your skills as a driver as well.
Well, yeah, you know, I've obviously been in that position before, and you know, you just got to get the head down and try just to think about the next corner. So yeah, it's hopefully this will give us good momentum for the rest of the year.
Enjoy your celebrations. I'm sure there'll be a few beers going down with the Rosari Racing team later. Well, let's dive in with Gordon Shedden. Obviously enjoying the moment with his teammate Matt Neal there, discussing, I presume, that move that allowed them both through. I mean, what a great result for you.
I tell you what, if I've got 9 lives, I've only got 8 left, especially after Newsham spinning in front of me going down the Craner curves. That was maximum heart attack moment and maximum brakes, and you know, to survive was fantastic. There was so much going on in that race in the early part with, you know, Adam Morgan and Onslow, and oh, it was carnage, but fantastic. How we've ended up second and third, I'm still not quite sure, but a great way to end the day for Honda UASA Racing.
Well, and 2 podium finishes. It's been a really strong weekend for you, hasn't it?
You're doing me out of 1. I've had 3.
I beg your pardon.
Yeah, I got the first. I need every point I can get, but yeah, the full set's great, and you know, I kind of managed to nip past Onslow halfway through the race, and that let me go, and then, you know, one mistake from Tordoff at the end, and I managed to make a big enough gap for the big lad to get in as well. So yeah, happy days.
Great. And what does it feel like when that? Well, I suppose the path didn't open up for you, but to get that position on the final lap.
Yeah, I mean, I think his tyres had gone a couple of laps before. He was really defensive. He was all over the place, but it's very fast in a straight line, and it makes it quite difficult. So. You know, you can close up in the corners and then lose out in the straight, but yeah, he just ran a little bit wide. To be fair, I was wide as well, but I just don't think quite as wide as him. So yeah, with all, you know, we talk about luck, it swings all the way, and I didn't have a great run of it at Brands, so maybe that's you know, a little bit coming my way. So very, very happy.
And you're going to have the big man, your teammate, standing alongside you on the podium.
Good to stand next to the wee man. It was a pretty busy last few laps, and. With Adam in the Toyota and then Sam in the MG, and I didn't expect to end up on the podium with 3 laps to go. It was when I got bumped out by Onslow, I thought it was looking pretty ominous, but the car was great, fantastic right to the end. Great result for the team again.
Sam did put up a pretty strong fight against the pair of you, didn't he? Kept you behind for a while.
He was good. He got his head down, and I didn't think we'd catch him. I thought he was leading for a bit, and I didn't realise how far Colin had gone up the road. So. But yeah, he's getting the hang of it pretty quick, isn't he?
So it bodes well for you two guys, you know, when we go down to Thruxton, because that's been a strong track for you previously, hasn't it?
It has. You know, obviously, straight line, some of the Toka engines are very fast at the moment, but fast corners are where the Civic comes into its own, whether wet or dry. So looking forward to it.
Good stuff. Well, let's grab a word with Sam. Congratulations on a brilliant drive. Commiserations that it just didn't quite work out for you at the end, did it?
No, it didn't. It didn't. So close, but yet so far. But we've come a long way in the soft tyre from where we were at the start of the season. I got into second place, and Colin was long gone. There was no point catching him, and I just was driving at 80%. You know, just trying to save the tyre because I knew it eventually would go off. And I could see the guys catching me, but I was sort of managing the gap reasonably well. And with 5 laps to go, that was it. The tyre gave up, and I was a sitting target. And to be honest, I'm actually quite glad that I managed to hold the Hondas back for as long as I did. You know, 2 more corners and I would have been second. But you know, I can take a lot of positives out of that.
Well, you certainly can, and certainly positive in terms of your overtaking prowess. You pulled off some great moves.
Yeah, you know, the thing is in touring cars, you've got to be firm and you've got to be fair, but you've got to get your head down. And if you're not going forward, you're going backwards. So I've been using that mentality a lot this weekend, and it's stood me in good stead.
Once again, you know, in the third race, you've ended up on the podium. Your career in the British Touring Car Championship is getting off to a good start. Is it better than you expected?
Yeah, a lot better. You know, if we just keep expectations in check for a minute, you know, 2 6 and a 4th today is great. It's great for me and is more learning and more experience for Thruxton. And yeah, you know, whilst I would like to be on the podium yet again, we hope it'll all come in time.
Good stuff. We look forward to seeing how you get on down at Thruxton. Finally, let's bring in Adam Morgan. You've had a great weekend, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been surreal, really. Not really believed it. To walk away with fifth positions is fantastic, and the car's been mega all weekend. You know, interesting race with the soft tyres on. You know, I was losing quite a bit of time towards the end, but you know, to be mixing it with the manufacturers such as Gordon and you know, Matt and all that lot, it's just brilliant.
And you've been right up there with them. Are you sitting watching them and learning from them as you're up there at the front with them?
Yeah, definitely. I've been learning the whole time. You know, ever since Brands, I've been taking it in, learning. I'm still adapting to the car, getting used to it. And then that second race sat behind the 3 main guys was just brilliant. And I think it's the first race Jason and the Hondas haven't come together. But you know, it's one of those things, and well, I've learned from it, and it's been a great weekend.
Do you think there's something about this circuit here that's brought the best out in you, or is it just that you are getting more comfortable with the car and making progress?
No, I feel like we're getting quicker and quicker every weekend. I think you know, I think this track does suit a Toyota. And yeah, no, the car's been great. Our race engineer Paul's done a fantastic job, and so has the whole team. So massive thanks to them and to our sponsors, Sicily Commercials, and just hopefully more to come in the future.
You did say we couldn't give your new race engineer too much credit earlier on, so let's give you some credit as a driver as well. You're getting the best out of yourself, aren't you?
Yeah, no, it's great. After you know, we struggled last year a little bit. I think we showed the pace we had, but to come out this year and I think to turn a reputation that we had last year is a bit of a non-finisher is fantastic, and not only that, but we're getting the positions as well.
Well done you. We look forward to seeing how you get on at the next round at Thruxton. We'll see you there. Right, that's it from the top 5 for now. Let's go back to Steve.